Welcome back to another podcast. I got a special guest. Had a little technical difficulties, man. I got some questions. I met him at this event. I'm gonna let him tell himself about him. What's up, Daryl? How you doing today, boss?
Oh, good, man. Life is good.
So tell him a little bit about you. What you do, why you do it.
Yeah, so I'm a software engineer. Been in the industry, self-taught. So started when I was in middle school. Been a coder pretty much all my life.
Okay.
2014, I got into the crypto space. Started working on things in that world.
Okay.
At an ATM company, Factom, BlockFi, all through the rounds. Some people who are in the know will know the companies I'm talking about. Some infamous, but been in that world. More recently, so around 2017, I started working in civic tech.
Okay.
I initially started an organization called the Tubman Project, which we were looking at leveraging machine learning technologies to kind of enhance the abilities of public defenders.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
The idea being an access to justice situation.
That's good.
We've got a public defender system that's terribly overworked.
Terribly.
It's terrible. The level of I once had a chart. This is like part of my presentation.
Okay.
And you'll see the level of funding that they put into all the incarceration and everything like that, and then you see public defenders flat.
Wow.
For decades.
Wow.
So
that's something that have to be fixed. That needs to be fixed. That's not fixed yet.
Oh yeah, it's a huge problem, and then that doesn't even account for civil situations. But we can get into that more detail.
So let's talk a little bit about being self-taught. All right.
Okay.
Because some people might say, man, you got to go to school for IT because they got to teach you all this coding and all that. So how did you teach yourself it? Like, you have to have some kind of passion to teach yourself it. So, go into that aspect of teaching yourself how to do it.
I mean, it definitely comes from passion. It was one of those things. I mean, I'm a gamer, big game nerd.
Okay.
So for me, it was I wanted to be able to make my own games. And in order to do that, I had to learn how to code. I had to go and get an engine. I got Dark Basic. This was old school programming language, but it had a 3D engine to it.
Okay.
Had a lot of things that you can do with it. And really, I just kind of went at it. Now, I will say, it was a different time then, and I was working in a space that was with a very low barrier to entry. Okay. You know what I mean?
Okay.
If you want to experiment with coding, with making websites, making games, there's very little that'll stop you from doing that.
But now today, the game changed.
It depends on what level you want to work at.
Okay.
It depends on what level you want to work at. If you're still kind of in that same space where I am and you're hacking around and things like that, no big deal. The more you want to go into things that require, large data sets or things like that,
gotcha.
Then you might be spending more money on hardware and things. So there's a scale to everything.
Okay.
But at the same time, compared to any other field, the way that you can iterate and design and just try things out in the world of tech, in the world of software development,
I like that.
It's just outmatched compared to something like this, where you need a pretty decent amount of hardware to get to a high level. With programming, that's not really an issue.
So I come from the 3D animation background.
Okay.
So what I used to love about Maya, you know what Maya is?
Yeah.
I used to love about Maya is just the aspect of, because my degree is in graphic design and 3D animation.
Okay.
And so I love the design aesthetics of being creative. So as a coder, do you have to be creative, or is everything just like press this code and this what happens?
No, it's never like that. There's a lot of, and the more you have to deal with the constraints, the more creativity you have to put into it.
Okay.
So it's one thing if you're operating in a situation where you've got all the memory in the world, you've got all the space in the world to do whatever you want to do. The more you start getting into high performance, that's when you have to find creative solutions to whatever problems might come across you.
I think people need to know that, though, because I think my ideal of coding is there's a lot of numbers. There is, it seems like you press certain codes and certain things happen. Okay, that's what it seems like. Which I'm not in that arena, but that would be my ideal. So if I'm thinking it, the audience might be thinking like, well, I want to be an IT. So somebody that's 18, 19 saying, I want to be into the IT world. What do you request they go to school, or what do you tell them?
I think it very much depends on what you want to do.
Okay.
Again, if you're wanting to get into something where, let's say you really want to be involved with, artificial intelligence and AGI and that sort of development.
That's straight school.
There's a lot of theory to that, and there's a lot of cost to being able to have access to some of the higher end models and being able to run them. That having access to a school institution would be beneficial to you.
Okay, so people can't be self-taught no more. Basically, they can.
It's not that you can't. It's not that you can't. Again, that's a very specialized high-end field. Not everybody's going and trying to make AGI in there.
I got you. So, are you scared? Are you scared of the AI that might take your job, or you don't think they can take your job?
I mean, honestly, the people that are in the intellectual fields are the most vulnerable to AI's disruption.
Okay.
Absolutely the most vulnerable. At the end of the day, what's happening in this most recent AI revolution, and it's not there yet, but it's right on the cusp of being able to really take on a lot of these intellectual and creative jobs.
Okay.
That's really where we are. So, I mean, there is a danger. You need to be able to understand, at the very least, how these tools are working.
Okay.
So that you know what their limits are and you know what they can enhance you to do.
So is it better for you to tell somebody is learn the AI and make it equipped to the IT so that they come together for you so you can stay in business? I mean, how do you tell a person this? Do you say, well, because somebody might say, well, if I get into IT, I mean, they might put me out of business because, the AI is doing everything.
Right.
So why do you
everybody's in the same situation, though.
I got you.
That's the thing. So it really doesn't matter what role you're in. And you've probably seen this happen with businesses also.
Of course.
When the internet came along, at first it was like, oh, yeah, maybe certain businesses need to worry about that, but not me. I'm over here doing this and that. I got you. And now all of a sudden you find, one of the biggest hires of coders is Walmart. You know what I mean? There's this is going to be one of those things that seeps into all sorts of different industries.
So what's funny though is I'm in Walmart late night. I see the machine cleaning the floor.
Yep.
So I'm like, okay, but how well is it cleaning the floor? All right. Now also, I know they're working on it. I don't know if you've seen that demo. They showed the AI grabbing the boxes, putting in the truck, but the AI died.
The AI died.
It dropped dead.
Oh yeah, I know the one you're talking about. I know the one you're talking about.
So it didn't die, but it just stopped working.
Right.
So how I'm loving it. I'm loving the competition of because I know that man is still programming AI.
Yeah,
it's still man programming it.
Yeah.
All right, it's not like it's creating itself.
Here's the thing, though, and here's where I try to think about what to do with this.
Okay.
The question is, do you have access to capital?
That's good.
Because that's what we're really talking about here is the replacement of labor with capital.
Okay.
And that's happened, over time. That's basically the story of capitalism, right? You find from going something from, okay, we're going to take a mule to now you build a tractor. You're replacing this labor and this capacity with tools that enhance that.
Okay.
So it's the same thing that's happening here. And at the end of the day, your ability to play in that game is equal to your ability to access capital.
That sounds good. To play in the game, because I think it's all a game, though.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, when I look at AI every day. So I looked at
it looks at you.
Yeah, it looks at you. So I'm literally watching them create a child, and the child runs out there and skates, does a flip, and then the child, and he puts the child. I'm looking at this, but I'm like, it's so unhuman. Like, can you really, what I'm saying?
Give it time. Like what the technology that's really come in and broken walls down is the transformer.
Okay.
Right. And so with the transformer, you're basically talking about moving from one state to another and being able to do that predictively, being able to, combine that in different ways.
I got you.
And we're kind of scratching the surface on what that is able to do. It started out really just being used for literally language translation, being able to convert from one language to another.
I got
They're finding now, like you discussed, in robotics, you can have those same sorts of situations be turned into transformer applications. So
that movie of that doll just came out. It's like a turkey dog, but it's a young lady. Me and my wife watched it. It's called about to tell you.
Oh, Megan, something like
Megan.
that? Yeah.
All right, did you watch it?
No, I didn't watch it.
Okay, so I watched it. Now, Megan felt real.
Okay.
She became more emotional.
Okay.
But this is the thing, though. In the movie, they lost touch with Megan because Megan started thinking on her own.
So Megan was an AI. It wasn't a magical.
No, it was an AI.
Okay.
That started thinking on her own.
Interesting.
So I'm looking at the movie as like what's coming.
Right.
I'm not just looking at the movie. Like I'm looking at like, okay, could this really happen?
But here's the thing that gets me. Does it matter if it starts thinking on its own or not at the end of the day?
Does it and can we stop it if it do?
Can we stop it if it do? That's a different question. Okay. But let's start at the fact of why are you afraid of it thinking on its own? Why is that a particular fear?
For me, I don't think it's a fear. I think for most people, because most people, they're scared because they feel like I have a skill that people need me to do.
Yeah.
People really realizing that, hey, hold on. I can open up 2 sides of Walmart. This side you can do self-checkout. This side you can do self-checkout. And I only have 3 or 4 cashiers.
Yep.
So now I think people are afraid that my job might get taken because now they don't need me.
Right.
And people don't think on a deep level. They think on a surface-based level. So me personally, I'm always looking like, okay, how can I edit videos better? What can I do different? How can I connect with my customers better? How can I take my customers on a customer journey?
Yeah.
These are things that I think about on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And so I think people are scared because their brain don't really think much. And that thing that they're scared of is the machine becomes smarter than them.
Yeah.
So now they don't need you no more.
Yeah.
That's the
it's a real fear. And again, I think it comes down to access to capital. When it comes to that question of how do you make yourself indispensable, labor is becoming less and less defensible as a differentiating skill. Now, the places where that's not true are going to be the areas, ironically, where there's manual labor that has a certain level of intricacy. So some
such
people
as what though?
So some people maybe familiar with Tesla.
Yes.
You know, they've really built out this manufacturing really system worldwide in a short amount of time.
Yes.
One of the challenges that they had was initially Elon had this vision of trying to do everything in a completely automated way.
I got you.
Right? Have the entire factory be able to be run by machines. And what they found was there were certain tasks that were just so intricate and so detailed.
But you needed that human component.
You needed a human component. You needed a human component. So those are going to be really the safest jobs.
Okay. So I like to talk about this because I think people just like, man, because IT to me is so intriguing because I look at IT and AI is almost the same thing to me.
Okay.
The reason why is because there's coding and numbers behind it.
Yeah.
AI is coding and numbers. It's not, people get on Chat GPT and like, I'm going to just type up this. I'm like, but you don't think that good. You don't know how to prompt it right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're thinking like the majority of the people. So you're going to say, how to build my brand, da-da-da.
Yeah.
And 100,000 more people going to say, how to build my brand, da-da-da.
Yep.
And so now y'all getting the same answers.
Yeah.
So your level of thinking, you have to understand how to use the tool.
Yeah.
And I think that's where they're afraid to learn how to use the tool.
But also keep in mind, these tools are going to change significantly. Like this Chat GPT is just one aspect. But I'm sure that you being in the content world, you know that there's
so many
numbers of different tools that are specialized for different particular tasks when it comes to content creation. Yes. Whether that's writing, whether that's editing, whether that's adding certain things.
They got AI that's drawing for you.
Exact 3D animation. There are different ways that these tools are being used and built on top of the, either the large language models or the other different types of transformer systems that are out there.
So I just think as humans, we have to just get used to what we see and not too scared of it. because I see a lot of people that I speak to like, yeah, man, I might lose my job because, AI might not need me, or somebody will say, copywriter. They're like, I don't need a copywriter number. I can just ask ChatGPT. I'm like, I don't know, because you might don't know how to use it properly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's the thing is taking what we know and adding it to what's already here.
Yeah, but here's the thing: some fear is healthy.
It pushes you out your comfort zone.
Fear in this situation is healthy,
Okay,
and not just even for the single individual aspect of, is my job safe and all of that. Like, that's a big enough fear, but there are real existential threats that come from this technology.
Listen, did you see the one, the dude that in the NBA that be shooting?
No. Oh, the robot that shoots? Yeah.
So they just created the robot that shoots. But the dude in the NBA that trains the NBA players to shoot, they had a shooting contest.
Okay.
And that robot only missed one shot.
Oh, yeah.
On fire. Every time it's that. So I'm like, is it that we're imperfect and they can make that perfect? That's what I'm asking.
What do you consider perfect? That gets to a philosophical discussion. That's
I don't know though, because I think that
nobody's gonna. I mean, me personally,
okay,
I'm not going to watch a basketball game with just robots. You know
I'm
what I mean? That's
either.
not what I'm there for.
Okay,
that's not what I'm interested in.
So what's the difference from that and gaming though? Because when you say I play 2K,
yeah,
and I play the computer,
yeah,
that's the AI.
Yeah.
So sometimes the AI beat me.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between competing against AI and watching AI?
I feel like people don't necessarily consider themselves to be, at least this is my experience in the gaming community, right? When you're playing against the computer, you're training.
Okay, I got you.
You know what I mean? You're not really competing.
Okay,
you're not really competing until you're going against other people. Other than that, it's just a novelty. You're building up your own your own skills and things like that. But when it really matters is when you're going against somebody else, because that's when your ego's involved. That's when there's somebody on the other side of the controller. There's some clout. There's some, That's
true.
There's a more of a social aspect to that.
I do like that though. I think that once we wrap our mind around that, it's different. So let's talk about your business, your brand, your the website you shared with me. Let's get on that. Like, what made you start this, and explain to the people why you started it.
Yeah, so
give them the name first though.
So the name is National Police Data Coalition.
Okay.
And so this is my most recent project. This is essentially an organization that's working to collect data on police activity nationwide.
Okay.
Make it available to all of the people in the system who can hold police accountable.
Okay.
Right. And so that runs the gamut from law firms all the way to financial institutions and things like that.
I got you. Now, so somebody might ask this question because I want to know, how do you police the police? And is it those little cameras that they're showing, or how do you do that though? So
here's the thing: those cameras are still controlled by the police.
Yes, I know.
Right, and
they cut them on and off as they will.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So the idea behind this organization is to really start to create an independent record. Of those same sorts of situations, because we've already got, the FBI has their system that they use for trying to hold police accountability, and police departments themselves will have different, obviously this varies from agency to agency, from department to department. Some of them are more serious about it than others.
I got you.
But by and large, there are ways that police have set up to police themselves at various federal, local, different levels.
Okay.
But I feel it's important to have independent.
So when can the community see it? That's what I think where it really goes into, like, the community actually see it. Officer 5411 is a bad officer.
Right.
I want to see his day and what is he doing on a daily basis.
Yeah.
I think the people want to see that. It's kind of like I'm watching. Like, I'm sitting out, like, I turn on channel 13.
Yeah.
I'm Officer 5173. Hey, I'm turning it on. I want to see what he's doing.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
And here's the thing. A lot of that springs up naturally. One of the things that the coalition does is really we connect all of these different people who are working in the field, who are already doing this work.
Okay.
But they're kind of siloed. right? They're not necessarily connected to each other. They're not necessarily working together.
Okay.
And we're changing that.
Okay.
So you'll have situations where one of the best examples, Chicago.
Okay.
Right? They have a system called CPDP. You can check it out, cpdp.co.
Okay.
Citizens Police Data Project. And essentially, they have done, through FOIA requests, they've got the records of all the different police officers, how they engage from at the neighborhood and beat level. You know, all the different complaints that have been made against them, all of that. But that came because they have an independent group that went out there and lobbied and pushed and fought to get all of this information released to the public.
I got you. So the police officers might ask, is it fair to be watched all day?
Mm-hmm.
You know, is it fair?
Yeah.
You know, but we really the people being watched all day.
Yeah.
So to me, I'm big. Did you see that movie? The Something of Sound, when the kids are getting kidnapped.
No, I don't know that one.
Okay. I can't think of it right now, but this is when they show like kidnapping is worth $150 billion a year. Kidnapping kids. Now, it comes to a deep subject, so I'm like, people want to know, like, because there might be cops be like, I don't want nobody watching what I'm doing all day.
Right.
I'm a big component on should the race police their neighborhood, or should you mix it up? That's
an interesting question. I mean, but to me, I try to stay out of like
the race
sort of.
I got you.
Well, no, just even that level of detail about it, because at the end of the day, that's something that really needs to be decided by that neighborhood. You know, if it's going to be accepted, if it's going to be acceptable, it's the people who live there that has to accept it, not me.
So, and the reason why I ask this is because if I'm a black man and you're a black man, I typically raise my voice. If I raise my voice, I typically know how to handle another person who raises their voice. So, and we was on Clubhouse, and they asked a question. They was like, if somebody in your family is acting up, should you call the police immediately? Or should you try to handle it before the police come?
Right.
I'm not talking about like, I'm just talking about like restrain them,
Yeah.
you know, stuff like that. That's the real question. Versus if you know your uncle over here drunk and you can say, hey, uncle, man, come on, chill out, bro.
Yeah.
What we doing? Versus calling the police and the police coming on the scene live and active.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They just like, hey, you know, and they're not really understanding your uncle.
Yeah.
It's a bad.
No, you won't be surprised. Like I'm a big proponent of family. You know what I mean? Like I don't think that there's this need to have government really involved in every aspect of people's lives.
Okay.
I just don't see a need for all of that. Like it's not that deep. Honestly, I even, and just to give you an idea like how kind of far on the spectrum I am, I'm not a big, I know there's this big push, right, to have preschool and all of this stuff.
Yes,
like,
of course.
You know, and I wonder, okay, at what point do we not expect a family to be responsible for putting the values that they want into their children?
That's good.
You know?
That's good.
At what point do we decide the state is now going to be the arbiter of all of our values and beliefs and how we, you know, navigate the world completely?
That's good.
You know, teach me arithmetic.
That's good.
You don't need to teach me, you know, how I see the world.
And I just think, and this is my opinion, guys, don't get crazy. This is my opinion. I just think that if, like me personally, before we get on that point, I want to ask you a couple questions. So, to get you so motivated to do something like this, is it something that happened to you with the police?
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about it. And how many? Was it one time, 2 times, or 3 times?
So I've had a gun to my head 3 times in my life.
Well, somebody might ask why.
All police officers. Now, again, I told you I'm a programmer. I spent a lot of time indoors.
Okay.
Like, you know.
So the first time, what was you doing?
The first time I was riding a bike. I was living in Austin, riding a bike. It's kind of dusk.
Okay.
And I have a cop car jackknifes across the street, you know, pulls out in front of me, scares the hell out of me. And I'm just like, what the hell is going on? So as I'm coming out, I'm talking to this guy. Another guy comes up, drives up behind me, gun on his place. Like, again, you want to know what the issue was?
What was it?
I didn't have a light.
On your bike?
On my bike. On my bike. This is a 2-car issue. Two-car issue.
Oh my God.
Second time I was back in Houston, or I was in, I think I was in Humble area around there, and hanging out with a friend of mine, go to a party, whatever. We go to a bar, and then we're heading to a party afterwards.
Gotcha.
So we're driving through the neighborhood. We're kind of getting lost. We're trying to figure out where we're supposed to go, stuff like that. And so we park. We think we're at the address. We go up there. Oh, no, I don't see. It looks like this isn't the spot. So we sit in the car. We're trying to figure out what's going on. All of a sudden, you got cars.
Coming.
Oh,
my God.
So I'm coming. I'm sitting in the passenger seat. They pull my friend out of the car, white dude. They pull him away. I don't see him.
Crazy.
Guns are all on me, and I'm sitting there. And I have a pretty calm demeanor. That's just my nature. So I'm, I guess, surprisingly relaxed about this thing, but I'm like terrified. I'm just like, what the fuck is going on?
Yes.
So I'm sitting there. I'm just like, hey, I don't know what's up. I hear they're like giving me orders and things like that. And you know how it is. Like you get an order, it's like, do that, but don't do it too quick. Don't, you know what I mean? That kind of stuff. So I'm like, okay, I'm doing what I can do, y'all. Like,
that's it.
One of the guy yells out, "Pop him!
Pop him!
Pop him!"
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I'm sitting there waiting, like, what is he talking about?
Yes.
You know what I mean? What's about to happen come my way? Luckily, the guy, I look at him, and he's looking me in the eye, and he's just like, he doesn't really do anything. It was like somebody from the back yelling. And so that went off without too big of a hitch. They brought the chief out and all that stuff. And
wow.
Yeah. So that was tense. The last time I was at my grandmother's house.
Where she live at?
This is in Massachusetts.
Okay.
This is in Massachusetts. So
three
different
cops
cities.
Crazy everywhere.
everywhere. North, south, east, west, everywhere. That's just, it is what it is.
So is all these are white officers or some black?
I think the sergeant that came in a
No, I'm talking about when you first got stopped.
Oh, it was white. Yeah.
All white officers.
Yeah.
So that goes back to what I say. Your stature, they might have been, big black man.
Right.
I don't want to have to tussle with them. That might be their mindset.
Yeah.
So that's why I always say, like, it's important that, I'm not saying that you have to, but if you don't understand the culture of the black people, we naturally loud. This is what it is.
Yeah.
We naturally, if you grew up in the hood like I did, we naturally, might be shooting some dice, might be, it's just some things that we do that might not look like it should look.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean we all selling drugs right there.
Right.
Just might be shooting some dice, making a little dollars.
You got to have respect for the people. You got to have respect for the people at the end of the day. That's what it comes down to, is respect. That's what everybody wants in life.
Man, so there's a word game. I like to talk, and I'm going to tie this into this. It's a word game. I say a word. You a business owner, mindset, IT guy. You tell me what the word means after I tell you the acronym.
Okay.
The first word is pour. The acronym is passing over opportunity repeatedly. What do pour mean to you?
I see, to me, pour is about power.
Okay.
Someone who is in poverty is someone who doesn't have the power to control things in their own life.
That's good. That's good. The next one is hope. The acronym is help other people excel. What do hope mean to you?
No, I think that's excellent. Help other people excel. Yes. I love that.
Because I believe if you help enough people get what you want out of life, what they want out of life, you're going to get what you want out of life. So
absolutely.
I think that's important. The next one is life. Life stands for live in faith every day.
Yeah.
What's your ideal on like life?
No, I love that. I would add to that one of the things that I've built my life around is just really having the freedom to explore and experience the world and understand the world.
I like that.
As well as I can in the short time that I have here, and do that with the sense of love for the world, for the Lord, for all of that.
I love that. The next one is denial. The acronym means don't even notice I am lying. What do denial mean to you?
Interesting. That's a good way of putting it. That's a good way of putting it. I think that, when it comes down to it, denial is self-deception. Right?
That's good. That's good. So these last couple of years, getting where you at today, what books have you read? What have shifted your mindset to get where you at today? Like, what kind of books you think a person should read?
That's a good question. So for me, I would say one of the most formative books that I've ever read is Never Eat Alone by Keith Ferrazzi. This is something that I read early on when I was starting out my career, trying to be an entrepreneur. I was like,
what were some tips in that book you can give us?
I mean, the title says it all. Never eat alone. It's all about making sure that you're building connections and trying to understand who are the people that are in the world that you're trying to work within. Because nothing that you want to do of any importance, you're going to do by yourself at all.
Yeah, the old saying is, if you want to go quick, do it by yourself.
Yep.
If you want to go far, do it with people.
Absolutely.
So that's just the whole mindset. So what's another book that you can give us?
Let's see. I'll tell you some of the things that I'm reading now.
Okay.
One of the ones I picked up recently is Power and Prediction.
Okay.
This is basically artificial intelligence. How it is likely to transform the world of industry.
Okay.
And it kind of breaks down that transformation into waves of whether something is an application level change, whether it's a system level change.
I like that.
So that's one that I'm picking up now, just based on current situation.
Yes.
I read a lot of books on product development.
Okay.
I think that's also something that's really key when it comes to being an entrepreneur. At the end of the day, you're creating a product and understanding how to make that, undertake that effort to understand whether your product is well placed, understand what needs to be added or how it needs to be developed. What are the issues that maybe customers are having?
Yes.
That process, I think that is that's the brick when it comes to building businesses. You're putting together products.
Because my book right here, I talk about, getting people to know, like, and trust you.
Yeah.
Because once you get them to know, like, and trust you, they'll buy from you.
Yeah.
But not only will they buy once, they'll be repeating customers.
Yeah.
So a lot of times people don't become repeating customers because you haven't sold them to the next step. And I think the problem is what's funny is my wife said something. She said, I like Target better than Walmart. You know why? Because the baskets don't squeak.
The baskets don't squeak.
Something that simple. Think about it.
Yeah.
Something that simple.
It's all about the experience. There was I took a course on product marketing.
Okay.
Right. And how does your product and how does your brand, how do they work together?
Come on.
Right? How does the way you create the experience of a customer interacting with your business tell them who you are?
Yes.
You know what I mean? How does that tell them who you are? In my day job, I do a lot of work in developer relations.
Okay.
And there's a big part of that where you're understanding, okay, we're building software that other engineers are going to go and use to build products, right?
I like
this
that.
is something like Apple. You've got an app store. You need people to be successful on your app store when they develop and release something. And so part of that is what is the experience that people have when they're trying to actually go through that process, right? That's going to tell them about you.
Yeah, and I think that's good. And I tell people all the times, because the question people ask me, do I build my brand first or do I build my name?
Can you break that down for me?
Okay. For instance, my name is Lloyd Christten.
Yeah.
My brand is Why Now Is Your Time.
Right.
So, do I get people to know who I am, or do I get them to know who the business is?
That's an interesting question, and it's especially interesting because even when we first came up and you were talking about, I saw your website, I was wondering, does he mean like Daryl DK Malone website? Does he mean
Yes.
So yeah, it's a very live question, and again, and especially touching on
and
what we were
I think you
about.
do both.
Yeah.
So my brand, Why Now Is Your Time, people get to know me as the person, the author, the speaker.
Yeah.
But they know the brand moving with Why Now Is Your Time as the podcast, the products, the stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm still the same person. I just got my business and I got my name.
Right.
They tied together. So some people might say, oh, that's the Why Now Is Your Time guy.
Right, right.
Some people say, oh, what's up, Lloyd?
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? Lloyd is the dude that do reels every day.
Right.
Why Now Is Your Time is the podcaster.
Right. See, and that's something where I don't have as much of a personal approach when I do my marketing for a lot of things, and that's changing somewhat.
Okay.
With NPDC, I'm planning to be a lot more forward in kind of the marketing and all the communications around that, because I think it's important to build trust and that sort of thing.
Man, trust is where it's at. And I tell people, it's and everybody say, well, how you build your business, how you become a millionaire. I say, look, it's the 3 S's. Number 1, you have to build structure. All right.
Yeah.
Structure is the foundation.
Absolutely.
The second one is you got to have a system.
Yeah.
It's gears.
You're speaking to my programmer's heart.
And the last one is you got to scale it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Once you understand those 3 things, it's over.
Yeah.
So I can do anything once my foundation right, which started, hey, what's up? I do videos, but my brand is Why Now Is Your Time. Here's the system coming.
Yeah.
So now they got to know me, the one that do the reels. I'm taking you from the reels to the website. Mm-hmm. Now you're like, oh, he got something to sell.
You might like software more than you think. If you're talking about system structure and scale, that's where it's at.
I do like software. I'm just not, I don't think I'm more of I like content creation. So I'm more of a person that love to create content. Because at the end of the day, to me, we create content. We can never get this day back. But when we post this video, we can watch it 1,000 times.
Hey, code is content too.
That's true. That's true. What else? I think that was an important question. I had another. Oh, so what are some quotes that you live by? Like, is there some certain quotes that you know, you live, you breathe, you see, you know? Something you heard in the past you want to share with us?
I think the first one that came to mind when you said that, see the world, shape the world, make it your own.
That's a good one. See the world, shape the world, make it your own. Okay.
Yeah. That's very much a mantra for me.
I like that because I think that we all can control our own destiny. It's just that how we want to control it. My motto is consistency is the new currency. So whoever the most consistent gonna make the most money.
Right.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Because the more you post videos, the more, and when you understand why you post videos, it's over. Because I post videos for entrepreneurs. So as I'm posting videos, guess what's happening? I'm dragging in more entrepreneurs.
Right.
They sharing it with other entrepreneurs. So I try to mix my videos up into like 7 reasons why I hate entrepreneurship. You know what I'm saying? Then I'll come back with the next video is, hey, 2 reasons why you should be an entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but it's all about entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
So that's what get people the customer journey. Now they get to get on the customer journey. Oh, you really want to get to know me? And I tell people, if you don't have a home on the internet, you're not successful.
Yeah.
Your home on the internet is your .com name.
Absolutely.
It's so important.
Yeah.
You know, so give us some things you learned in IT over the last 5 years so that your next 5 years will look better.
You know, a lot of the learning that I've been doing recently is outside of the realm of development.
Okay.
Starting the nonprofit, I've learned a lot about how that space works in comparison to the world of for-profit business, fundraising, you know, that sort of thing. Leadership, that was a whole new challenge for me. It was a whole new challenge moving from, you know, the motivation is different. You know, when you're in a company and you're kind of working with and raising people up in that environment versus when you're in a nonprofit and it's much more mission oriented, right? There's different ways that people come to that. And there's different ways that people need to be motivated and worked with in that space. So that's been where a lot of my learning has happened recently.
So what could you tell your 13-year-old self? If you can go back and tell your 13-year-old self something, what do you go back to tell so that today it looks different?
Buy Bitcoin. I don't know.
Buy Bitcoin.
Buy Bitcoin, buy Google, buy Apple. Like,
you know what? I ask people this question too, though. Do you feel like, this is a deep question, do you feel like you did enough on this earth that if you die tomorrow, that you feel like it's good?
I don't think that's up to me, to be honest.
That's good. That's a good response. But do you personally feel like you have done enough? Like that bucket list. Do you feel like you've done enough to say, man, if I die tomorrow, I'm good?
I won't say that I've done enough.
Okay.
I won't say that I've done enough at all. I will say I'm not afraid of death.
Okay. Okay.
I'm very much, of the stoic mindset. Very much of the belief that happiness is internal.
Okay.
It's something that you develop and foster within and as you go through the world. So
I like that.
For me, I've had a great life. I've had a lot of experiences. I've traveled the world. I speak multiple languages. I've been really blessed in how I've been able to move and learn and grow. But at the same time, there's still things I want to do. There's absolutely still things and challenges that I want to take on.
I asked that question because it puts you on the mind frame of, man, I need to push forward for my dreams. Me personally, and my wife said, you don't think like that. I'm like, but I wanted to be job free since I was 18. And for the last 4 years, I've been job free. I wanted to write my book. And I got 2 more in me I'm working on right now.
That's what's up.
You know what I'm saying? One I'm already done. One is a children's book. I told you about it.
Yep.
And I want to impact people. And I've been doing that.
Yeah.
I've been doing that. It don't have to be millions. It's just, to me, if I could just change hundreds.
Yeah.
Which I know I changed thousands, but I'm just saying, that to me is like, I can go.
Right.
Because I didn't, we all here for a purpose. And I think people sometimes miss the purpose they hear. They get so caught up in, I'm on the rat race.
Right.
Oh, man, I tell people rats go get what? Cheese.
Yeah.
We consider money what?
Cheese.
If the minute you start to think different, rats, spell it backwards, you become a star. You become a star in your own way.
That's what's up.
So,
that's what's up. I mean, I'm kind of I love the work that I do.
I love it.
I love the ability to, kind of explore different subjects and kind of push myself in that way. And as long as I'm continuing to break new ground.
Come on, talk about it.
On those fronts, on other fronts, on my hobbies, physically, on everything, I'm constantly pushing. I'm constantly pushing. That's just who I am. So that's really what it comes down to me. And when I'm done, I'm done. But as long as I'm here, I'm going to keep pushing.
And I feel the same way. So this is a part of the show where I'm going to throw you the alley hoop, and you can ask me any questions you want to ask me.
Ooh,
you know what I'm saying?
Right. So questions for Lloyd. Questions for Lloyd.
Any questions? When you first met me, though, we met at an event. Very cool.
Melanin Minds.
Yeah, Melanin Minds event. Man, I was like, all right, he seemed like somebody I'm going to have on the podcast because the way he think. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, any questions you want to ask me?
I would ask you, what is, kind of back to the question you asked me, what do you feel like will be your legacy when you go? What are you aiming to really, what's your monument?
Napoleon Hill. You know who Napoleon Hill is?
Yeah.
Napoleon Hill been dead since 1950.
Mm-hmm.
I get an email from him every day. Think about that.
Okay.
He created so many products. He created so much information that they picked up a foundation and they still pushing his products. So when you go to Napoleon Hill, it used to be .com, but it's .org. So now they turned his name into a foundation, and I'm getting emails every day. This is why content is important to me.
Yeah.
So I want to create enough content in the world, enough information, enough quotes, I'm documenting every moment.
Yeah.
So that now people, when I'm dead and gone, some 18, 19-year-old, 20-year-old kids say, man, if I can do that. You seen all the videos he posted. You see all the books he wrote. You see all the podcasts he did. If I can do that, I feel like that's my legacy, man.
Okay.
It's not so much, I know some people so caught up into, I'm being a millionaire. That's already happened. Not worry about that. What's next?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What's next? What's next is me empowering people, lifting them up, and knowing that my legacy can stay for years to come.
100%. 100%.
You know what I'm saying? Because legacy is way greater than currency.
100%.
Period.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
So another question for you.
Come on with the questions.
How do you expect the world to change in the next 10 years?
First of all, we have younger kids that rent the studio out, 22, 23.
Yeah.
They don't want to work.
Interesting.
Entrepreneurs.
Okay.
They want to create.
Yeah.
They want to create. They want to be around greatness. I see the world as being, what I'm going to say, it's going to be different in a lot of ways. I ain't getting a chip, though, so I didn't want to let them know. They're going to try to give me a chip. They can just check me out. You know what I'm saying? It's good. I got the chip on my card. Don't try to put it in me. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, I just think in the next 10 years, man, I'm looking at it transform, but I'm transforming with it. So if a 13-year-old kid, I'm 43 right now. If he think I'm 53, if he come 23 and think he gonna outwork a 53, he got a sad thing. He got a sad thing mistaken. I'm coming. I'm like you. Every day I'm pressing the pavement. Yeah. I'm making videos. I'm creating. I'm documenting my moments. Hey, look what I'm doing. Hey, I'm building this. Hey, I got my audience. Hey, I got another product. Hey, every day I'm building, bro.
Yeah.
So ain't no way they're gonna outwork me until I'm dead. Until God say, you can't move no more. You know what I'm saying? If I'm up, I'm creating, man. So I think the world gonna look different because when we look around us, people love social media. So they love it. But social media is just a highlight. But I'm gonna start posting my failures and not all my successes. I want people to see the failures. Because when you go on somebody, like say I go to your IG, I'm gonna see pictures of you traveling, pictures with you and pictures with people. I'm gonna start posting once or twice a week. Man, I try to do this and man, I fail. This is what happened. So this is why I gotta let me try to correct it. I'm gonna get back with you guys in 2 weeks. Start posting your failures, not always your successes. Right. Because social media is all the highlight. It all looks good. Because 1 minute, it's my boo. Next minute, divorce. Right. You know what I'm saying? No, that's the educator in you. I think people they just need to understand, like, being an entrepreneur ain't easy. Yeah. It ain't for everybody. Yeah. Because when you work for somebody, they say, here's your plate. Eat well, brother. When you entrepreneur, it's like, whatever you kill is what you eat. Exactly. It's a different beast. Very different mindset. It's a whole different mindset. It's a different beast. Yeah. So I always tell my wife, I say, you got to unscrew your heart, put it on the side to do business. Because if you have your heart with you while you're doing business, you're going to make bad decisions. So you have to unscrew it, put it on the side, and then go do business. It's all about the dollars, man. What I learned about the other people, the white people, they would take what we do on social media, package it up and sell it. We would say, yeah, join my free community. You got to do it for free first. You don't. Right. That's bullcrap. Yeah. If you got knowledge, people buy what they know. People buy what they don't know. Wrap your mind around that. People buy what they don't know. Yeah. If they don't know something, and if you 2 steps ahead of somebody, you can sell them something. Think about it. So all your knowledge that you know, put it into a 5 to 10 module information, sell it 97, 197, people will buy it. Right. That's the mindset. Absolutely. So last question. Come on, ready. So I'm a big art guy. Yes. I like the style that you got here. I'm curious, who's the up and coming artist? Who do you like? Like visual art. Oh man. I don't know. It's some people in Houston I like though. Oh yeah, there's a great community here in Houston. Yes. Great community in Houston. I don't know, man. My guy, I love to shout him out. He the one do he draws all my characters over here. See him? Okay. Oh, he draws all my characters for me. Yeah. Man, and he did my children's book.
Oh yeah.
So I gave him a picture of me when I was 11 years old, and he drew it out, and he put them in all the pages. And then I got a picture of my wife, my sister, and other people I know.
Yeah.
And he drew them up, and now we got a children's book coming.
That's what's up.
So I think art comes in a lot of different forms. So content is art because words are arts.
Yeah.
People don't remember songs. They remember what? Hooks. Think about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's a certain, hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished? You don't know the whole song, though. You just know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know verses of songs. Yeah. So when people meet you, they're going to know verses of you. Think about that.
What's the equivalent to that in the visual art world? Because I see, is that a Banksy over there?
Yes.
Yeah. So, he's got these very signifying aspects. Is that necessary for visual art to?
Yes. To find that piece.
Yeah.
That people recognize you by.
Okay.
So people recognize me by life, brand, legacy. I say in every video, hey, go design your life, create your brand, leave your legacy. Life, brand, legacy.
Right.
So then what happens is when they get connected to Why Now Is Your Time, they think about, hey, man, Lloyd said I need to design my life. I need to create my brand. I need to leave my legacy with my own information and products. You got that book in you. You got that course in you. It's in you. You just got to get it out to structure it. Stop telling the same story 1,000 times to 1,000 people.
Yeah.
Tell the story one time.
We've had this conversation.
Tell the story one time and let that talk to the people.
Yeah.
So when somebody say, hey, what's up, Lloyd, man? Tell me about podcasting. Copy, paste, link.
Yeah.
Book. Oh, tell me, I want a course. Here go the course. I want mentorship. Here go. This is the thing. And I tell all my black people in the world, man, don't be scared to charge people. People pay for what they don't know, man.
Yeah.
If you know something, they're going to pay you. But the problem is we be like, I don't really know if nobody going to buy. They buy. You just tap to the wrong audience. They going to buy. People buying every day. People are compulsive buyers. They do. People buy stuff and don't even use it.
Right.
It's just a whole bunch of stuff. So I learned, once you understand the psychological triggers of selling, it's a whole nother mindset. Once you understand that, hey, there's a new play. I'm about to give y'all a new play. Here we go. Everybody, not very, very few people doing this play, and I want you to pay attention.
All right.
People go to your website. The video pops up. The first thing you say is, hey, man, welcome to the website. I want to introduce you. It stops.
Okay.
Once it stops, name, number, email pops up to watch the rest. Cold play, bro.
That's what's up. Hook 'em fast. Hook 'em fast.
Hook 'em fast. So your first 3 to 5 seconds has to be like, hey, have you ever wondered if being an entrepreneur?
Yeah.
Then it pops up. Then they got to put the information in there. They're killing it. I'm watching them. I'm like, that's my new play.
See, this is why I love having people who do marketing, man. This is why I love it. This is why I love it.
Just now, I'm doing the play. The next play, and I took a course maybe about 6 months ago. Dude said, hey, do a webinar series. What you do is you get them to your webinar, and you say, hey, man, thank you for subscribing. So they get to the first page. The first page say, welcome to the webinar, man. I want to give you 7 steps on how to be a better IT. Subscribe right now. That's the first page. Mm-hmm. A video less than 20 seconds. Oh yeah, I need to be a better IT. Second page. Make sure you go confirm your email. You're not getting it until you go confirm.
Right.
Third email.
Build the list.
All right, you're building your list and your text list. Email, 34% complete. Open rate. Text message, 98. What you want to do? You want the email? You want the text?
Right.
I want the text.
Right.
All right. So now they get to your webinar. Hey man, I'm glad you made it to the webinar, man. They get to see the webinar. It's an hour long. I'm glad you made it to the webinar, man. Listen, man, there's so many things we need to talk about. Within 3 minutes, it stops. The button pops up. If you want to continue watching this webinar, you got to pay $7.
Right.
You want to, I capture your email.
The paywall.
I capture your email, and now I'm asking you for only $7.
Right.
That's it. They pay the 7. They got to go back to confirm.
Yep.
Once they confirm, hey, you finally paid. Man, let's continue with the webinar. Finish the whole webinar. Towards the end of the webinar, that's when you got the next button. Now you need to join the mentorship.
Yeah.
It's a process. Now, once you set it up, you don't got to set it up ever again.
Right. I'll let you in. I think I told you this before. I used to work at a Six Pack Shortcuts.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know if you remember them back in the day. Yeah. It was one of the, I think they were #1 channel on YouTube back in, when was this? This was 2012, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, huge. That was the entire model. You know, it was all about that. Create this need, create this, this system, this program that people can come back to. You've got fresh content coming on a regular basis, keeping people engaged. Absolutely.
All right, so last thing is, look at this camera, leave the people with something inspirational. Whether it's entrepreneurship, whether it's IT, give them a minute of something inspirational that you can just touch them and leave them with. The camera's on you now.
So I'll say this. I really love this quote.
Okay.
People are they overestimate what they can do in a year, and they underestimate what they can do in 10. So if I can say anything to people out there, I would say just whatever you're doing, I think to your point, consistency really is key. The fact that you can go and continue every day to push and move the envelope just 1 inch forward every single day, and being willing to do that and being willing to let that compound, right? And being willing to let that take effect over time through consistent action, through consistent learning, consistent training, consistent, thoughtful, productive work is outstanding. The things that you can do with that are unbelievable. Every company on this planet, from the Amazon, $100 billion to, down to, people who are running a taco stand.
The funny part about Amazon, consistent building. I tell people about Amazon, they started out only selling books.
Exactly.
But then they build a customer database, and they ask the customers that bought the books, what else would you want us to sell?
No, I always like the meme. They show Jeff Bezos. He's sitting in his office. He's like, I used to sell books. He comes up, ball yoked up. Now I sell whatever the fuck I want.
It's mindset, man. It's mindset. So listen, man. He dropped some key nuggets. I'm gonna put all his information where you guys can follow his brand. Y'all can follow what he has going on. And man, go to his IG and tap in with him, man. As I always tell you guys, keep watching me like you watch TV. Not only are you going to watch your income grow, but your mindset will shift. We see you guys in the next video. Peace out.